Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on X Twitter at Movies TV Mad and on Instagram and on Threads at Movies TV Mad X. A very warm welcome to Thursday's edition of the Movies TV Mad Daily, how streaming is destroying cinema. It's not really rocket science, is it? I'm not a genius for saying this to you. But we need to discuss certain elements of how streaming is destroying cinema. I don't really blame Netflix, really, for destroying cinema, because I suppose Netflix inspired the studios to become streaming studios as well as cinematic studios. So you can blame them for, kind of giving studios the idea, but Netflix isn't a cinematic model. Netflix was always a streaming model. Amazon was always a streaming model. But Amazon buying MGM is a problem. It takes, MGM movies, because all they're going to do is reboot all the MGM classics. Leave The Wizard of Oz alone. I mean, they're already doing a kind of version of that, and it's going to suck. But it's the studios that once were purely a cinematic platform, and going with streaming and deciding to try and challenge Netflix in the streaming arena that have really destroyed cinema. Let me give you some fundamental examples. This year they released Furiosa, flop. The Fall Guy, flop. Meanwhile, they're going to take Green Lantern away from cinema and have a streaming show called Lanterns. Now, a limited series like Penguin shouldn't be a limited series on Max. It should be put together as a movie released in cinemas. It would make so much money. But they're stupid. They are stupid. Harry Potter is being rebooted, which I don't agree with anyway, rebooting it. But if you're going to do it, make a multitude of movies for cinema. But it's going to be a Max series. Dumb. It's The Fall Guy and Furiosa that should have been streaming movies. That's the truth. That's the truth. And then, everyone's sitting there, the studios, the fans, the pundits, the critics, and saying, "Oh my God, Furiosa and Furiosa and The Fall Guy flopped. Oh my God, the general audience suck ass." It isn't the general audience that suck ass. It's you that suck ass. Because you're so dumb and thick, and everyone holding it up and saying, "Oh my God, why didn't people, it's the fans' fault, it's the audience's fault for not going to see these movies. They're the ones destroying cinema." No, it's the studio's fault for thinking people were going to go and watch Furiosa and The Fall Guy in cinemas. But I tell you what, put Penguin together as a movie, people will go. Even Gunn's new animated DCU series, put that together as a movie, I think people would go and see that. I mean, it kind of gives you a few clues to what the DCU will be, to what the Superman movie will be. But instead of making these movies, especially Green Lantern and Harry Potter, make a great Green Lantern movie, and you could make loads of money. But they're using these things to prop their struggling streaming services up. And they're putting the price of Max's ad version. Who's going to pay for this? Everyone's struggling to feed their families, and you're putting streaming prices up. And there's nothing. Is it good enough? The truth is about streaming, here's the facts. I think that Netflix has a lot of good things still on there. Some of it's crap, some of it's good. Some of it's documentaries. If you're interested in real crime, wow, Netflix is the place to be. True crime, should I say. You should definitely watch Evil Genius. That is twisted. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. So this is why streaming is destroying cinema. It's obvious, isn't it? Colin Farrell as the Penguin in cinemas. Imagine it. And we got this Lantern show on Max, which is going to be like a true detective kind of thing. You could make an epic Green Lantern movie. And the Wonder Woman prequel show they're going to do as well. Wonder Woman should be on the big screen. Their idea may be really good for streaming. Put it together as a movie, could it be huge? But here's the thing. This isn't James Gunn's fault or Matt Reeves' fault that the Penguin is going to be on streaming. The studio insists on this. Right, Matt? We're going to give you a Batman 2, but we want a streaming kind of spin-off from your universe. He's got no choice. He has to do it. James Gunn has to put lanterns on Max instead of making an epic Green Lantern movie. He has no choice. This is the reality of the situation. These are the facts. And this is how Hollywood are bankrupting themselves. One of many, many reasons. And, we've spoken about Furiosa. We've spoken about The Fall Guy before. I thought it was pretty obvious that both those movies would be disastrous for the box office. The Fall Guy is kind of fun if you're at home. Furiosa is a very well-made film. If you're watching it at home with a bucket of popcorn, I think you'll have a good time with it. But not enough people went to cinemas to watch them, these films. And there's a reason for that. Because you've got to compel an audience to go to the cinema. Robert Downey Jr. is on some streaming thing where he plays all these different characters. 20 years ago, that type of film would be in cinema and everyone would be talking about it. No one's talking about it apart from the press who are promoting it. So this is what's changed within the industry, that they're sinking their own platform. You can't, the only way you make money from streaming is through sponsorship and subscribers. When they say, 100,000 minutes, people watch this thing for 100,000 minutes, whatever they say. They don't make more money. They need views, or what's the point? But it's all about attracting people to their service. It's all about each subscriber. It's not really about the views. They go on about views. Of course, you don't want to be spending money on something nobody's watching. Streaming works for Netflix. It kind of works for Prime. But it doesn't work in terms of Max or D+. They're taking things that should be movies and putting them on streaming. And then releasing movies for cinema like Furiosa and The Fall Guy. But this could be even worse, people. This could be nefarious. Maybe they released The Fall Guy and Furiosa to devalue cinema so people watch more stuff on streaming, so cinema is destroyed and they can do what they've been wanting to do since COVID, which is have you at home watching streaming. Pay-per-view will be a thing in the future as well, on streaming. That's what they want. But streaming has not worked in any way, shape or form for the big studios like Disney and WB, but they continue trying to prop them up with things like Penguin and Harry Potter and lanterns. And it's fundamentally wrong. How can you be clever if you think Green Lantern on streaming instead of cinema is a good idea? It's a really, really bad idea. But they're going to do it, and nothing we say matters. These streaming services, if you live abroad, are not accessible to all of us. Now, thankfully, something like The Penguin that I'm really excited about will be on Now TV, which I do have access to. So I will be able, thankfully, to watch and review Penguin later this year. And I'm very excited to watch and review Joker when I go to cinemas to watch it. Because I'll be going to more than one cinema to watch it, because I will be out and about later out on this year, and I will want to watch that a multitude of times so I can give it a good full review for my subscribers and people watching my channel. I support cinema. You know, Kevin Costner didn't want his new Western to be on streaming. And believe you me, I think that WB tried it on with Kevin, but Kevin, an old school actor, was never going to have that. I'm looking forward to Kevin Costner's epic Western. Bring it on, even though critics are slaughtering it. Who gives a shit what they think? Because we know they shill the shit, and anytime a straight white man makes something or stars in something, They shit on it unless that straight white guy, is part of the overlord system, if you know what I mean. So there could be nothing good from things like Penguin and Lanterns and Harry Potter being on streaming. AMC just had to bail itself out from going bankrupt. AMC is a cinema group in America. That's how bad it's got. And AMC, I think, are probably the biggest cinematic brand in America. So everyone's being hit. So what chance have the small cinema chains got? Absolutely nothing. While these studios are, behind closed doors trying to devalue cinema, but in front of the camera they're saying, yeah, we support cinema. But you fucking don't, do you? You don't. You're devaluing cinema. Talking about AI and how it's inevitable. It is not inevitable. You want it to be inevitable. And this is where we are, folks. This is where we are. They are devaluing a system that worked, a cinematic system that was quite simple. With the introduction of VHS, it was simple. And then DVD and Blu-ray and 4K. It went to cinemas. Then about 6 months later, it would be on, video or DVD or Blu-ray, 4K, whatever. And then it would be on telly or streaming like it is now. But something's changed. They went after the Netflix system. They thought they could destroy Netflix. Pundits said that Disney Plus would destroy Netflix. I'm waiting. Today, hooks! Where is Disney Plus? In what reality is Disney Plus destroying Netflix? It was never going to happen because Netflix understand being a streamer because they've always been a streamer. WB and D Plus simply don't get it. They could never make something like Sex Education which captivated Gen Z and Disney. And WB are always after the Gen Z audience, and they never get them. Well, WB and HBO have done okay with capturing that audience sometimes. But, basically this new generation are not that interested in going to the cinema and watching telly. They're kind of interested in Netflix, but it's all about the TikTok generation now, which for me is quite sad, but this is where we are today. So you take great IPs like Harry Potter. I mean, Green Lantern is a universe within a universe. OR, the Lanterns. I've said it before. It's Star Wars in the DC universe. It's a universe of its own. It doesn't even have to be interconnected with everything else that Gunn's doing. But of course, that streaming show will introduce us to the arc of gods and monsters through a streaming show. Really? You think that's a good idea? When you could have an epic Star Wars-y kind of universe if you did it properly. But what is Lanterns exactly going to be on Max anyway? It's going to be a gritty, realistic kind of crime show like True Detective. Oh wow, yippee-dee. I can't fucking wait to barely see any space battles, any planets, any epic, green ring lasery stuff. I can't wait for you to make a cheap streaming version of Green Lantern. Bring it on. I'm sure it's going to be the bestest ever. But do you understand how stupid modern day entertainment is? Because the people who run the studios, the CEOs, don't even know what they're doing. What's the point of a writer-director being a co-CEO of DC Studios when he has to make a Green Lantern streaming series? When Matt Reeves makes a great Batman movie and is forced to have a streaming series like Penguin when Penguin should be in cinemas? What's the point? Can you explain it to me in the comments? Can you see how this is not going to work? Or are you just going to shill the system like some of you do? Or are you going to ask questions of it? Because for a lot of you around the world, you can't even have access to Max anyway. For the others in America, It's too damn expensive for you. You want, as a consumer, to go to cinemas and watch a Penguin movie. You want, as a consumer, to go to cinemas and watch a Green Lantern movie. You want, as consumers, the opportunity to go to cinemas and watch the next Harry Potter movie. But no, these things will just be available to you cheaply on streaming. So you have to subscribe or you can't see these things. They're holding up a system that's not working. Streaming doesn't work for the major studios. It is not working. They are not making any money. They're losing money hand over fist. But still, they're spending more and more money and devaluing cinema to save an idea that doesn't fucking work. And again, you have to ask the question why. Because they don't like being wrong. You've seen how they talk about us, the consumer. When we say something they don't agree with, we're toxic fans. When we don't go to the cinema to support their shit that should actually be on streaming like The Fall Guy and Furiosa, we suck ass. These are the people running entertainment where they basically talk shit. We've got the guy, right, Wendell Pierce, who's playing Perry White in James Gunn's new Superman, talking about racism, talking about how a white landlord wouldn't allow him to apply for an apartment. Why are you talking about this? What, you know you're going to wind people up. You're gaslighting people. Good luck, James Gunn. The legend who played Perry in Man of Steel wasn't talking shit like this, but this is where we are today. Lawrence Fishburne, an icon, a legend, a great Perry White. But, already this guy's talking about racism. This guy wasn't really, I never heard anything from this guy before. All of a sudden he's got a big role, so he's going to start talking about racism. Good luck with that, James Gunn, because your movie is going to go down the same shit heap as the rest. Because people don't want to hear these conversations. People don't want to be called racist. People don't want to hear black people calling white people racist. We spoke about RTD putting his own audience on trial and calling them racists. While he comes from an industry of sexual abuse, abusing minors, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. As I said yesterday, Ricky Gervais was dead on. The entertainment industry is in no position to talk down to us, but they do. And this racism, like what Wendell Pierce was saying, it's racism. It tells you where he's at. And that he probably hasn't got a very high opinion of white people. This is the guy who's going to be playing Perry White. And he's not going to stop there. He's going to go on and Ariston, right? Do you remember that advert? Ariston, and on. But so we've got this racial kind of echo chamber gaslighting going on. And we've got them making dumb decisions and devaluing cinema to try and hold up streaming. And it's not working. I personally think Furiosa would have done quite well on Max. And I don't even know what company did The Fall Guy. I don't even know if they've got a streaming service, but if they did, it would have done well on streaming. The Fall Guy and Furiosa are streaming movies. That's the truth. And I must admit, when the bad box office was coming through and all these experts and all these studio analysts were like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is shocking. It's not shocking. Just because you said a movie was good and we should go and see it, doesn't mean we should fucking listen to you. And here's the point. We are not listening to you. People like @Mama's Geeky, the biggest fucking liar you will get doing videos. It's the bestest movie ever! Every movie's brilliant. Every movie she talks about is brilliant. Now and again she'll go against something. I don't know if, I don't know for what reason that is, right? But normally, I think she loved The Acolyte. They will say everything's good. These early reactions are full of bullshit and lies. Now and again they'll be honest. Because early reactions are not supposed to be a review. They're supposed to be positive. Because the early reaction influencers are part of the system of selling the movies and streaming shows to you. I hope you're paying attention. I hope you understand that At Mama's Geeky and people like her are not your friends, they're not your allies, and they're not good content creators. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. But Mick, you've only got blah, blah, blah subscribers. At Mama's Geeky, yes, she's successful. She and people like her are the Pied fucking Piper. It ain't my fault you ain't got the good sense to value me and subscribe to me. A 6-foot fucking Adonis who knows the industry. Sorry to blow my own fucking horn, but nobody else is going to do it, right? It's not my fault you don't listen to me because you see my subs and my view time. So obviously I'm not worth fucking watching. It's a bit like when they say a prostitute must have bad eyesight when she's a witness because she's a fucking prostitute. Just because I'm not a successful YouTuber, it doesn't mean I'm not speaking sense. I'm trying to reach you people. You know, the fucking stupid people that are going to buy Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn fucking buckets and make Disney loads of money. Listen to me. They are not your friends. Hugh Jackman isn't your friend. Ryan Reynolds isn't your friend. He just wants your fucking money. Stop looking up to false fucking prophets. Right? Think about a movie yourself or a streaming show before you see it. And if you see it, you don't like it, don't lie. Don't prop up billionaires. I don't care if you agree with me or not. Penguin should be a movie in cinemas. Lanterns shouldn't be, you know, on Max. And at first I kind of said, well, maybe it's a good thing. That can be on Max and we can get the epic Green Lantern movie. It's not going to happen, people. I was fucking deluding myself. So to the people who called me out on that, thank you. You was right and I was wrong. Because that's the fucking kind of platform this is. I'm not an echo chamber. I'm here so people have a place that can actually say, as long as you're constructive and not rude and you don't want to go to war just because you don't agree with me, I respect the old-fashioned term of agreeing to disagree. It's a great fucking concept, people. You should all try it. So, this is what they're doing. Behind the scenes, they're really trying to devalue cinemas. Behind the scenes, they're happy that The Fall Guy flopped and Furiosa flopped. Oh, goody. Now we can put other things, maybe things that are a little bit better on streaming. Not that they're doing that really anyway. But that's the plan. They want to shut cinemas down. They want you at home watching streaming. That's what they want. And you've got to be clever enough to say no. I'm no better than you are. I've still got like a Now TV subscription, a Netflix subscription, a Prime subscription. I've even got a D Plus subscription because sometimes I can watch it. But it's all shit. I shouldn't do that. It's a waste of my money. I should cancel all my subscriptions and give it to the third world, so the children and the struggling families in Palestine, for example, can survive. That's what I should be doing. I shouldn't be spending my money on this corrupt, criminal industry that hates me, hates you, and hates a certain side of their custom. They're not worth supporting. When they say you suck ass for not going to their fucking shit, then there's a problem. Should we be propping up people who think we suck ass? N-O spells fucking no. They're taking Harry Potter away from cinemas. Think about it. I want you to think how dumb that fucking is. Dan Radcliffe and the rest of them should be given so much money that they have to come back. So they continue the adult adventures. And maybe we have their kids, you know, being the new generation. Instead of a fucking reboot. Maybe that's what they'll do on Max. I have no fucking idea. But rebooting Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe, like, recently talking about it's good that he probably won't be in it. Why is it good? Why is it good? We ended one of the biggest franchises ever, in a good place, a place where it can still continue. Why would you reboot it? It's fake. Oh, they want to be more diverse because they're stupid. You can be, I'm not saying diversity is stupid. I'm saying you can still be diverse and continue the Harry Potter that they did in cinemas. You can actually have a Harry Potter TV series and Harry Potter movies at the same time, but this is how stupid they are. Devaluing cinema to prop up streaming. Something that's never going to catch on. It's caught on as much as it ever will, everyone. And this is where we are now. So, as I say, instead of that epic Green Lantern movie, you're going to watch Lanterns, a cheap, gritty, realistic streaming show. Oh, run by Damon Lindelof, the man who did The Woke Watchmen. Oh, great. Makes me laugh that some of you hate Zack Snyder's Watchmen. An epic, stunning feast and treat of Alan Moore's graphic novel. I know Alan doesn't agree, but Alan hates it all anyway. Alan hates everything. Alan probably hates motherfucking Teresa. So there's no point talking about that. But instead you hated what Zack did, but some of you said, oh my God, the Watchmen streaming series was amazing. No, it wasn't. It was rewriting history. That's what New Hollywood do. And that's what they're going to do with Lanterns. Basically, they're going to use Jon Stewart to call all of us racists. And James Gunn's Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, will probably be a toxic straight white male. In a lot of ways, that's what he's always been in a way, but he's been fun with it. But that's why Guy Gardner is being used in that movie, probably. It won't be a celebration of Guy Gardner. This is where we are today. But an epic Green Lantern movie in cinemas. I mean, you know, the original Green Lantern movie may have a lot of problems, but there's some good things in it as well. At least you could go to cinemas and see a Green Lantern movie. And they could learn from their mistakes and make a better Green Lantern movie for you, the audience, and make them money. But they're losing so much on streaming that they need things like Lanterns and Penguin to prop them up, and Harry Potter. But it's not going to make them the money. It's just going to prop up a failing system. That's all they're looking for. And devaluing cinema at the same time. Do you really want to support this system? Hollywood, the cinematic system, used to be something utterly beautiful. I watched Godzilla Minus One for the first time yesterday. And beyond the great visual effects for Zilla and the way they use Godzilla so wonderfully well, it was the main character's journey that grabbed me emotionally. I was crying buckets after I finished watching the film. It was predictable in places, but sometimes it's good to be predictable. It was amazing. Chinese cinema, Asian cinema, let's get it right, has always been superior to American cinema. But last year, they gave Hollywood a spanking they'll never forget. Godzilla Minus One exposed New Hollywood. And it was a transfer of power. Foreign cinema is going to dominate the market because they make good fucking movies and the Americans couldn't make a good fucking movie if you gave them a handbook. Do you understand where we are? They're devaluing the cinematic system purposely. It used to be, do you remember that, as I said the other day, the magic of Hollywood? It used to be magical. You used to go to the cinema and feel that a magic spell was upon you. But it's over now. It's over. Because if you're quite comfortable taking something like Penguin and putting it on streaming, taking something like Harry Potter and putting it on streaming, taking something like Green Lantern and putting it on streaming, taking something like Wonder Woman and putting it on streaming, if you're comfortable in devaluing cinema, then are you worth supporting? This is James Gunn, right? Who before he became joint CEO of DC Studios was saying that he was looking to focus on streaming and not cinema. that tells you everything you want to know.